Do you find that fear keeps you bound and shackled? It holds you back from truly manifesting a life and living a life that feels beautiful and magical, abundant. If so, it is time right now, today, in this moment, when you find this video, when you find this message, it is time to start reclaiming your power. Break free of the illusion, right? Because fear is an illusion. Break free from the illusion of fear and live your life confidently. Manifest confidently. If so, keep watching. Let's go. It never fails. Fear always shows up when we are faced with uncertain situations and unknown spaces and places, unknown circumstances. Fear always rears its head. And when that happens, instead of allowing fear to completely take you over, completely just like engulf you and just like it's almost like this fear cloak that happens, this fear umbrella or some type of like coating that happens to us when fear shows up because of uncertainty and unknown situations. When that happens, instead of allowing the fear to completely override your decisions and the actions that you may need or you really want to take, seek the understanding, seek the clarity that you need. Investigate what's unknown, investigate and explore the uncertainties, get more understanding and information about what feels so unsure. When you do that, when you seek the clarity, you literally loosen the grip that fear has on you. You start to break the attachment that you have to fear and that fear has to you. When you start to just have a seeker's mindset, right? It's like the page within the tarot deck. The page is a very young, vibrant, curious energy. Tap into that when you're feeling uncertain. Tap into let me see what there is for me to understand here. Ask the questions. Don't be afraid to ask what you don't know. That when that happens, you literally will start to break the chains of the illusion of fear. Literally, you'll start to feel it get lighter and you'll start to feel like, oh, like, I can move forward. I have a little bit more information or insight to the situation than I had before. Don't let fear overcome you. Seek what you need to know and then move with confidence. Okay, so then there is the projection of fear. So when I say the projection of fear, it's when you're in that moment, right, of feeling fearful, feeling like, oh, I don't know if I want to do this. Oh, I don't know if I can trust this or trust this person. When you find yourself in a fearful state, regardless of what that is, understand that it is a projection of what has happened within you internally already. Okay? Meaning that this is going to be based off of you constantly thinking about the worst case scenario or past experiences that you've had. So, yes, so when I say projection, it's like all of this that's going on within you based off of, something that happened before that was really jacked up. Being a part of a situation and it didn't pan out the way that you wanted, and so now you have attached yourself to the outcome of a situation, and when it presents itself maybe in a different form through a different person in the, near future, you're automatically running back to the memory of what the outcome was before. So that is a projection. That is a projection from inside of you outside, and now you're experiencing the fear. That's why fear tends to show up on a loop sometimes. It'll be repeated because it lives in us. And until we break that cycle, it's going to continue to show up in different ways through different people, through different environments and circumstances. Then the other way of projecting fear is sitting around contemplating about the worst case scenario. It, like, literally, it hasn't even happened yet, right? And sometimes contemplating and feeding into the worst case scenarios because you've already experienced it before. But even outside of that, say something comes up and you start fantasizing or, imagining the absolute worst thing that could happen, you're projecting fear into your reality. So what's going to happen is fearful things are going to show up because in so many ways, you're validating what's going on within inside of you. You're creating what's going on within you. So understanding that fear is a projection, and fear, of course, is inevitable in this experience. Like no one is exempt from, experiencing or feeling fear, right? But it can be managed, it can be mastered, okay? It's going to arise. But the more you can understand that what is happening outside of you is some way or another happening inside of you. So fear is nothing but a projection. It's an illusion. It is an absolute illusion. So what you can do when that happens, right? When you're feeling the fear and you're in it, right? Just simply come back to the present moment. Come back to the here and the right now. And when you can do that and you can get into the practice of getting yourself back into that state of presence, you will start to be able to see that fear is a projection, that fear is an illusion, and there's actually nothing to be afraid of. The only reason that we feel like things are fearful and so scary is because there is an agreement that's been made, right? Whether we were taught it or we saw it or we experienced it or we imagined it, it's an agreement that has been made between us and the fear over and over and over and over and over again. So as soon as you can get yourself back into a state of being present in the moment, that is when you can then grab a hold of fear and really start to break the chains, start to overcome the illusion, and understand that you are a divine being and nothing outside of you is really outside of you. It's within you, and you have the divine ability and responsibility to understand that and manage that and master that. Okay. And I just want to say that it's a practice, right? It takes time. It takes patience with yourself, with others as well. So just know that you have the ability to manage your fear, master your fear, break the chains, and overcome the illusion of fear. So overall, this is really bringing together how one can start to rebuild trust within themselves, right? Because fear really shows up when things don't feel safe. They don't feel trustworthy. A person doesn't feel trustworthy. An environment doesn't feel trustworthy, right? So this is really bringing us back to self again in understanding and rebuilding the trust with ourself, right? Understanding and rebuilding the trust with higher self, with the divine. And also remembering that in order to break free from fear, it doesn't require these huge leaps in life, right? You don't have to dive head first into everything and make some huge drastic choice or decision, or take this huge risk and anything like that. That's not necessary. Some people, they navigate that way. Some people understand that there is an interplay with taking huge leaps. But then there's also just take a little step, right? Take a little step. Make a little bit of an actionary movement with intention. Take intentional small steps. And I promise you, the more that you take intentional small steps, or if you decide to just dive head first, it's going to loosen the bind. Okay, it's going to break the contract. It's going to end the agreement bit by bit that you have with fear. And it's also going to help you align yourself more and more with your internal guidance system. And as you work through the fear, you're going to then start to activate soul wisdom. You're going to start remembering who you are and realize that, you're going to find yourself taking a little risk here and doing this thing over here and realizing that, oh, I'm okay. Like life still, everything's still happening. Things are great. This really turned out amazing. This person ended up being an amazing friend, or this opportunity yield so much abundance. Like you're going to start to see that there are beautiful successes that come from that. And even when there's failure, you're going to understand that that is there too as a gift of information and knowledge and wisdom that you get to acquire out of that situation. So the more you just kind of take those little steps or you dive in, whichever it is, you're going to realize that I can trust self. I am trustworthy. Like I am trustworthy. I can trust myself. I make the best decisions for myself all the time. I am the best decision maker for me. So I hope that this resonated with you. If it did, drop some hearts and some roses, some flowers down in the comment section below. Let me know that you're here. If you want to share something about how you've overcome fear or different experiences that you've had, please drop that down in the comments below. I would love to hear about it. I really, really enjoy when you all comment down below. It also helps, the channel, of course, get onto more For You pages and things of that nature. But I am a strong believer that this shows up where it's supposed to show up, and it fits where it's supposed to fit. Don't forget to like this video if you're vibing with it. And then don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel if you feel called to. So that is what I got. I send you peace, I send you light, and I send you love. And until next time, peace.